Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Michael D. Tate Sr. from Peacock Institute, where we focus on faith, family, and finance. It's Transformation Tuesday, and today we're going to dive into a great topic, the important aspects of any family, and that is communication. But just not any type of communication. It has to be quality communication because we all know life gets busy. We all got things going on. We got distractions, but transforming your family bond is going to start with being intentional in your steps to ensure that this family bond is strong, right? It's strong. So without ado, let's jump right into it and start talking about how we can transform our families through the art of communication. But before I go any further, guys, if this resonates with you and you want more family focused content, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of the videos that are coming up. All right. So I'm going to keep it real always on the channel. From my perspective, family's a blessing. Either you're benefiting from the family because you're being properly nurtured and reared and loved, or you've had some adverse situations that have given you the wisdom and the lessons to appreciate yourself and the family unit. Either way, family isn't easy. They aren't easy to deal with. It's not even easy to manage. Between work, school, social media, managing yourself, time management, and everything in between, it can be extremely difficult at times, and most people can get overwhelmed. But I will say, even though it's hard to stay connected and really communicate with your loved ones, it's essential. But if we want our family bonds to grow and expand, you must engage in open and honest communication. That's the key. So let me share a few powerful tips on how you can start improving your communication within your family today. Okay. Number one, set aside regular time for your family conversations. See, one of the biggest things that gets in the way of our communication, other than our ego, is time. Because we have decided that in society, it is more important to chase material things than it is to have quality relationships and to build a quality family unit. Now, some of you may be saying in other ethnic groups, maybe the Jews, maybe the Hispanics and the Asians, they're not probably faced with this as much as Blacks are faced with it here in America and maybe even abroad. I'm not sure. But there isn't an emphasis on building a quality, strong family unit. I get it. I know everybody's busy, everyone's busy. But if you really want to see a transformation in your family, you got to have dedicated time for your people. Whether it's during dinner, on the weekends, or just a 10-minute chat before bed, having regular family conversations builds trust and openness. This is something that my family and I have implemented for years. I have two high Division I athletes and in their respectful universities. And every Sunday, we have a dedicated time where we reach out to them to give them a chance to tap in and for us to actually ask questions to check on their mental health. Now, that's not to say that we don't tap in with them throughout the week because we do. I'm either spamming them with some YouTube videos or some affirmations. I know my wife, she sends her love notes and her hugs, and she's asking questions and she's managing situations for them. But on that Sunday, they know that we're going to have a Zoom meeting and we're going to see what's going on with them. And more importantly, give them an opportunity to express themselves at a place where they're not going to be judged and harshly evaluated. So I highly recommend that you do that, right? And for those who don't have, kids abroad or, out of the home, you want to make sure that you're doing that, where you're taking them out, right? Or you just having a meal where you're saying, you know what, give me your cell phone. It's just me and you. Let's just kind of see what's going on. Number two, practice active listening. Now, this was very challenging for me because I would go into a conversation wanting to share and give. By nature, I'm a teacher. And so I do all this researching and I listen to YouTube videos like many of you. And I wanted to share, regurgitate information that I gave. But then I started realizing how selfish that was because I was not also getting the downloads from the person, but I was also not giving them an opportunity to openly express themselves, which could push them away and isolate them from me. This is a huge one, right? Listening doesn't just mean hearing yourself talk. It truly means trying to understand what the recipient is saying. Oftentimes, family members, especially kids, they just want to be heard. We don't want to marginalize them. I know when I grew up, the elders used to say, a child is supposed to be seen and not heard. And of course, we did that. But behind their backs, we got into activity, we cussed, we talked bad, and we held a lot of that frustration in that later on probably turned into violence or being promiscuous. So when someone in your family speaks, you want to give them your undivided attention. That means put down the phone, pause the TV, and show them that they matter. Something that really frustrates me is when I've dedicated time with a loved one or even, a friend. Now, there are exceptions to this, but don't pick up your phone. Don't be scrolling as if I'm boring you. My time really isn't valuable. You would prefer or rather be with somebody else or somewhere else. Get off the phone. See, this is a commodity that you can never get back, and that's time. You can replace the spouse. You can even replace the kids. You can't replace the time. You can replace the money. You can replace the clothes and the cars. You can't replace the time. So I want to ask you something. When you talk to someone, wouldn't you prefer that they ask you, how do you feel? How they can support you? That feels good, right? If I asked you, hey man, what's going on? Hey baby, how does that feel? How do you feel? What can I do to support you? That's active listening. Because just by me asking you those questions, you can hear the sincerity in my voice, knowing that I really care about you, your well being, and I'm actively looking for a solution. Number three, lead with love and patience. Let's be real. Families gonna disagree. They're gonna have arguments. But I remember being in a family where we would have disagreement and arguments, and family members would hold grudges for eons, centuries, decades. This sister don't get along with this sister, so now the kids is carrying that on. This brother is mad at this person. I mean, it's crazy because what I have found that traditionally what you were frustrated or angered about or had a disagreement about, when you ran across them at a funeral, maybe at a wedding, maybe at a birthday party, you typically forgot what you was angry about in the first place. So all this time you wasted when you could have just approached the situation with a little love and empathy. Emotions, they gonna get high because people are passionate about what their beliefs are. But it's okay to take a step back, take a break, and come back when everybody's calmed down. Somebody gotta be the bigger person. And it's no problem if it's you. Be the peacemaker and encourage healthy conflict resolution. That's something that we weren't taught. Ultimately, for us guys especially, we thought that somebody was attacking our manhood and disrespecting us when they said something or looked at us funny. But what I have found in my years of traveling here on the planet, that was an eternal issue. Because again, I'm not going to give that much attention to someone opinion that I don't respect, and I'm not going to put myself in harm's way. When your family knows that disagreements can be resolved positively in a loving way, it changed the whole dynamic. It's imperative, especially if talking to my fellas, you have to be stoic. Nobody's saying you don't care, but today, because the masculine energy is missing in the household, what I've noticed oftentimes, because we're raised by a lot of feminine energy, and I was raised from a single family home as well, you will start to respond like your mother. And that's not the problem solver that we need. She's not out of balance. You are if you are male. So you want to be working on being stoic, okay? And making sure that you're leading by example. And the way to do that is lead with love and patience. Number 4, I like this one. This is a good one, guys. Make time to have fun and bonding. And when I say bonding, it's just for those who have romantic relationships with your spouses. It's not just about the physical touch, right? Even though that's a part of it. There's a book, The 5 Love Languages. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you pick it up. Great read. But it is also making sure that you maintain a level of courtship. For those with the kids, you're having dedicated time where you're not talking about school, you're not talking about sports, you're not talking about who they're dating. You are just simply creating a mental health environment for them to be themselves and for them ultimately to learn more about you so they can continue to develop as well. Transforming family bonds isn't just about the serious conversation, people. It's about getting together collectively and having fun, working on a common goal. Build a puzzle together, watch a movie, play Uno, spades, go in the backyard and throw the football around, go on a trip. You want to create family outings, game nights, or even simple activities like cooking a meal together, cooking pizza, creating dessert together, sundaes, cookies. I love when my daughter cook me cookies or bakes cookies, right? I'm the cookie monster in the house, right? So you want to create these shared experiences. You're reinforcing your family to trust. There's something that every Friday we used to go out to the movies, and I enjoyed it. And when we go to the movies, we would have this movie rating from A to F, where after the movie, we get together as a family and everyone weighs in on their perspective of the movie or their interpretation of the movie, and you grade it. And I always enjoyed this, especially as my children were coming up, because I got a chance to tap into their mental capacity and to see how they process information and how they were properly interpreting it. But then it was also extremely fun because maybe they picked up something in the movie that I missed. And then, of course, my queen, she would also tap in as well, and she would share it, and I would get another feminine or a different perspective. But that's something that's a positive shared experience that they will always remember. So, guys, I hope this was a blessing to you. It was definitely intriguing as I was putting this together. Family transformation simply starts with small steps, guys. Communicating openly, right? Listening actively and having fun together to make the world a better place. And just know it's not going to be easy, but it's worth it. But with patience and attention, you can strengthen those family bonds that are necessary in our community and create a positive, loving environment in your home. When you do that, the community becomes better. When you do that, the world becomes better. So here's my challenge for you this week. Set dedicated time to really listen to a loved one. Before you go to bed, I know oftentimes before I go to bed, 30 minutes to an hour, I like to decompress, where I want to not only physically get clean, I want to rid my mind of any negativity throughout the day, any overthinking. Sometimes that might be prayer, it might be meditation, it might be reading a book, it might simply be talking with my wife. But I highly recommend that you take some time to yourself to do one of those activities or even adding journaling in there to reflect, show a level of gratitude throughout the day. This is going to help you maintain a high vibration and help you to attract and manifest the desired results. You'll be surprised how much by implementing some of these tips will drastically transform your family's life. I know you could have been anywhere today, so I want to thank you for tuning in to Transformation Tuesdays. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more faith, family, and finance content. Drop a comment below to let me know which of the tips that you like and you're implementing. And if I missed out on any tips, please drop it below in a comment. Until then, peace and blessings.